Today is June 12th at 8:27 a.m. So the daylilies are a bit slunken today because of the wetness, but they do come out in full bloom once it's sunny. Now over here you'll see that I've got planted, this is a Easter lily, and I thought the Easter lilies were dead. It was in this big clump of roots that came out of a plant container, okay? And I was able to salvage 5 bulbs. I was able to get them planted in these different areas, as you can see. And hopefully we're going to have some Easter lilies in this little area right in here. All right, and the wildflowers are doing good. These are the wildflowers that I planted. The hostas are growing in perfect. As you can see, they've already flowered. This is a new addition to the garden, guys. This is another type of lily. And the roses are doing extremely well. They're really growing in. I got to get some rose tone for them. But as you guys can see, I installed some railings, and they're pretty solid, right? They're pretty solid. You can't move them. I just pounded in some pipes into the ground and zip tied them. Now, I salvaged these from my local dump, so this proves that you don't have to invest too much in your garden. You know, some pretty pink flowers here. This is a new addition also. Guys, we got to get this turned around today. And the reason why is I planted this in a hurry yesterday. And can you see the way those branches, they kind of come out like this? Right? That's a sign that this plant could expand this way. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, it's got 4 feet, right? But 2 feet this way would cut off a lot of space. You know, 2 feet this, you know, in this direction would cut off a lot of space. And, you know, this direction. So I think I got to get this plant turned around, but I'm not too sure. Maybe I'll just leave it. Because if you see inside here, the branches they do seem to go in many different directions here. So I'm guessing this thing stays round, but it bushes out 4 feet, probably in either direction. So I imagine this thing gets huge. So we're just going to leave it and see what it does. I guess I'm not going to mess with it. I was going to turn it around today, but now looking at the branches in it, they do seem to go in all kinds of different directions. So we're just going to see what happens. I've been working on this garden bed down here, getting this emptied. And a little trick to show you guys. In my wheelbarrow here, you'll see that I've got this wire strainer here, right? And I got another, like a old shelf. And this is excellent for filtering dirt, guys. You just take your scoop of dirt, put it right on here, move your shovel side to side, and you can filter dirt. It will go right down into the wheelbarrow, and you can see the dirt that I've already got in there. It's great for transplanting flowers, or you can use it to fill beds, you know, whatever. We're going to repurpose this bed here. It's actually going to be made smaller. It's only going to come up 1 foot. And it's going to be a little thinner because it's going to house grapevines, okay? And it's going to actually be in my vegetable garden. So I'm going to have to take this apart and then rebuild a new bed out of it. I mean, this looks trashy, so I really got to get this cleaned up. This is going to take me a couple of weeks to really go to work on this. I've already started in on the end, as you can see. The garden is looking better. As you can see, I got some roses over there. Right, let's see if I can zoom in on those. There we go. Those are the roses. They will grow in. I've done some work mulching. I've been pulling weeds, as you can see on the ground there beside the roses. There's some weeds. I've been just cleaning up around here. I'm trying to put in a rock bed for another type of plant that I've got. Gonna be nice purple flowers on that in back of those roses. There's a plant that grows in rock, and that's why I'm putting down the rock. So we're just taking the rock from the bed that I'm clearing out and putting it here. Guys, the potatoes are looking great. The tomatoes are much taller. I do want to give you guys a bit of a tour on this because you haven't seen it for a while. All right. So there's the garlic, and guys, right there, that's either pumpkin or it's squash. I think that's a squash plant because it's darker green. The lighter one would be pumpkin, I believe. So we got some various colors here, but I'm pretty sure these are pumpkin. This is got to be a squash because it looks totally different than that. So my grapes, I put them out here in the garden so they can grow a little bit. It looks like they are doing a bit better. They're turning kind of a reddish. I'm guessing they're getting ready for the next stage of growth. These are all doing great, right? The potatoes are doing great. I had a little bit of an issue here on the potatoes, but I'm noticing some of the potatoes are coming back up. So I don't know. They're withering. Sometimes they'll grow tall. Like you see this plant, it has grown really tall. Here's the tomato plants, okay? Look how tall that is. It's actually outgrowing the stick this year. I think I'm going to have to install a new stick. I need an extension that goes up. I might use, I don't know, what they call a lar. It's just a thin piece of wood that they use for putting up plastic. I might just stick one on there, and that'll help support the vine a little bit. We already did some trimming down below here. As you can see, I did a lot of pruning on the tomato plant because it's important to keep all those lower plants off there so they don't get sick. Our green pepper plant is growing, guys, but the bugs have really eaten the hell out of the leaves. But I don't think that's as important. I think we could still get a pepper even though the leaves are eaten out. That's the update for today. Here we are, the harvest of 2025. I've got about 4 purple potatoes here. Great big potatoes, guys. You guys probably can't see this. I'm going to take the bucket outside so you guys can see what we've got. Look at that. Lots of potatoes. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is half my harvest of garlic. I've got the other half drying out right now on racks. I just wanted you guys to see some of the nice garlic I got. And I think I always show you guys the potatoes, but my potatoes are right here. They've dried out a little bit. They look more like potatoes now. I was worried about the skin on them, but now the potatoes look more normal. And we're still waiting on tomatoes. But these are the only 2 things I harvested this year. Next year, I promise you, a variety of vegetables. I just didn't have that much time to plant this year. But we'll see about next year. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we have our first pumpkin in formation here. Just want to get a close-up. That's a pumpkin starting in its early development stages. So far, it's the only one on the entire plant I've been able to spot. You can see how large this plant is. It literally goes right around the corner. It's starting to get close to the fence over here. I think it's gonna reach the fence and maybe start climbing up it. Tomatoes are doing good. We've got some good tomatoes. These are some different kinds of tomatoes. Not exactly sure what they are, but we've got tomatoes, as you can see. Sooner or later they'll turn red. But again, here's the pumpkin plant. And as you can see, I have not seen any more formations of pumpkins here. So, you know, we're just going to have to see what we get. Okay? We've got one. So we'll keep checking every day.